So, it's like 1 in the morning and we're talking about reproductive rights. Always a joy. The three main arguments are the biological burdens of being a parent because of, that sense of obligation from yourself and from society, and the right to genetic privacy, and the fetus being property. M&D were against killing the fetus because they didn't think the burdens warranted it. They wouldn't be allowed for use by egg donors and sperm donors and such, so why would bio parents be able to use them? So they threw that one out. They threw out genetic privacy because it's the right to not have your genetic material be misused, and the child only has 50% of the pregnant person's genome, so they don't get to decide to kill it. Just because you own something doesn't mean you get to do whatever you want with it, so they threw out property rights too. They used pets and historical stuff as an example. Like, just because you own an old house doesn't mean you get to go bulldoze it. Just because you own a pet doesn't mean you can throw it against a wall. That's animal cruelty. We're not for it. They were for terminal abortion if it was less of a burden on the pregnant person, but other than that, they were against killing the fetus. JR said both parents had to consent because parenthood can't be given up. You can't be. So if the kid exists, you're a biological parent and you have those burdens. And genetic parents together make up 100% of the child, so they have the right to kill it. The child, the fetus. We're talking about in the womb right now. Child is later. Sorry. Both parents together have 100% of the genetic makeup, which means, according to JR, that they have property rights and can kill the fetus. And then overall, it doesn't have to be both parents, because ectogenesis would force the mother to have a biological child out there that they didn't necessarily consent to. And you can't remove something from someone's body against their will. Like, you can't just go and, I kind of want that lung, I think I'm gonna take it. No, you can't do that. So they said you can't take the fetus for ectogenesis. Overall kept killing the fetus in utero, but Reader, we're on Reader now, we're on child now. Reader allowed for killing the fetus even if it survives termination and is outside the body, and said that it's better to terminate than abandon the fetus, even with adoption, because of those burdens of being a biological parent. So Reader was very hardcore. I think if a pregnant person wants an abortion, then if the other parent does want the child, I think ectogenesis could be a good meeting in the middle if the pregnant person is open to it, because it is more of a whole thing to get the fetus out, to put it in an artificial womb. If they can't for health reasons, or they don't want to because it's more of a burden on them, then I think they should be allowed to terminate the pregnancy, because when it comes down to it, they're the one going through the pregnancy. It's their body, it's their health, it's them. I think ectogenesis allows for a lot of people that currently can't carry to have an option, and it allows for a meeting in the middle for people that one parent wants the child, the other parent doesn't, but I don't think it takes abortion off the table. And then once the fetus is surviving outside the womb, you cannot kill it, because at that point it's no longer using someone else as a tool for survival. You can concede your parental rights, you can use ectogenesis if it's a preemie, but you cannot kill a fetus outside the womb, because at that point, once it's outside the womb, it's like it's surviving on its own. It's not surviving using you anymore. I don't care about your genetic privacy. It's not like you go around killing your siblings and your parents to keep your genetics a secret. You can't, once it's outside the womb, it's outside the womb. You should have terminated before then.